What's going on, wrestling family? Welcome back to the channel. So, Liv Morgan fans, there is a silver lining in the cloud. There is a little bit of hope for you guys. I'm not saying to get too excited because it may not happen the way I think it's going to happen, but I'm just saying there's some hope for your girl. Now, before we get started, hit that subscribe button. And I want to personally say thank you guys so much for supporting this channel, for watching my videos, liking, disliking, giving me good or bad comments. You guys make this so much fun to do. So I just want to say thank you and I appreciate you. But without further ado, let's get past the mushy stuff into the content at hand. So for most Liv Morgan fans, if not all, they are pretty upset about the decision that WWE made at Elimination Chamber by having Becky Lynch win the Women's Elimination Chamber match. Now, if you're a reasonable Liv fan, I completely understand where you're coming from. I love Liv. I love Becky, but I'm not upset about the decision they made at Elimination Chamber. But most reasonable Liv fans are basically saying like, hey, if you're going to have a WrestleMania match, why not use Liv Morgan? She has a pre-built storyline with Rhea Ripley, and that can play out at WrestleMania. It makes all the sense in the world. And they've had something going on for a long time, so why not pick her? And then they're also looking at Becky Lynch like, hey, I don't hate Becky directly. And maybe some of them don't like Becky, and to be fair, everybody doesn't have to like every wrestler. That's just not what it is. That's why there's multiple wrestlers. You can like one and not like the other, and it doesn't mean you hate that person. But they probably are not already a fan of Becky Lynch, but also feel like, why does this wrestler get all these opportunities? Every time there's a title thing, every time there's a big moment, this person gets inserted into that every single time. To them, it kind of gets that Charlotte Flair PTSD to them, because with Charlotte, she competed for so many titles. They ran out of titles. Like, yo, we ain't got no more up here. We out of stock. We gonna have to send you back down to NXT and get a second helping. And then she wins the NXT Women's Championship belt, come back up to the main roster and wins the title again, and then has a match against Rhea Ripley on WrestleMania. So people are starting to feel like we're getting the same thing over. We just want some fresh blood. We want something new to happen. We don't want to see the same people around the titles all the time. Now, for me, I get where they're coming from, and I can, I can get what they're saying. But for me, I lived through the Attitude Era. I lived through the different eras of wrestling. There's a lot of things there that happened that was repetitive that most people don't talk about. But there are some people who watch wrestling right now who weren't around, who wasn't alive when the Attitude Era was happening, or the Ruthless Aggression Era, or even the Golden Era was around. So I get where they're coming from. They just want something fresh. Now, if you have a personal issue with Becky Lynch, I don't know. We don't agree on a lot of that stuff. But at the end of the day, I believe that there are some signs that we saw last night on Monday Night Raw that showed us that there is some hope for you Liv Morgan fans. And to be fair, it may not happen. So if you didn't watch Raw last night, let me just go ahead and put it all together. So there was a in-ring segment, or a promo, between Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, where Becky Lynch was basically cooking Dominic Mysterio, which was pretty funny. And at the end of that, we saw Nia Jax enter the ring and then attack Becky Lynch, trying to kill the girl. She pretty much tried to murder her on live TV, which is crazy, bro. She gonna get a Netflix special. She could be doing stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that happened. And then fast forward, there was a Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax match. And at the end of that match, Liv Morgan ended up losing due to disqualification because Becky Lynch jumped the barricade, bopped Nia Jax on the head, and interfered, then cost her the match. And then when you fast forward on Raw, you saw Adam Pearce backstage. Becky Lynch walks up to him and say, yo, I'm getting tired of Nia Jax. Every time I do something, she's been doing this for the past 2 weeks. She's just been terrorizing me left and right. Adam, I need a one-on-one. I need to shoot the fade with her. Please book a match for me. And Adam Pearce is like, as he always does, he doesn't really resist anything. He just says, okay, well, if that's what you want, I'm going to give you a match next week. You got her one-on-one. And then he leaves the camera. He walks out of the frame. And then here comes Liv Morgan approaching Becky Lynch saying, hey, I had a good match going out there. I had something happening. Why would you do that? Everything isn't about you all the time, which a lot of the Liv Morgan fans who are upset about Becky winning would probably agree with that statement. And then Becky Lynch walks away. So everything that happened here so far that I described can pretty much change that match for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship belt at WrestleMania. You got Liv Morgan, who has an issue with Becky Lynch. You have Nia Jax and Becky Lynch, who have an issue with each other, which Becky Lynch is involved in that WrestleMania match. And Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, they have a history. Her and Becky Lynch, they got a match coming up. Nia Jax is just terrorizing everybody, so I don't really know what her real issue is with Rhea Ripley. She didn't touch her when she came in the ring to attack Becky Lynch. So that gives us reason to believe that it's going to turn into a fatal four-way match between these four women, which for me, I was kind of hoping that would be the case for a different reason at Elimination Chamber, but I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And this is great for Liv Morgan because for me, I love Liv Morgan as a heel, right? I feel like that it's a more interesting approach, and she already has some ammo to make her turn heel. She loses that Elimination Chamber. She's second place there. She ends up 30th at the Royal Rumble. She loses the Royal Rumble. And when she comes out, fans are expecting somebody like an AJ Lee, and they're booing her like crazy. Like the whole crowd just died. They didn't even care about her being there. So she has so much fuel to turn heel, and for her to get a match to get disqualified in this match, that's more, heel heat for her to get, or more fuel for her to turn heel. And if she goes a little bit maniacal, kind of like when she had that feud between her and Sonya Deville, where she jumped off the ladder and did a leg drop on her through some cases in the back, where she was laughing at the fact that she was hurting, that is going to be very interesting. And if this is going to be a fatal four-way, if they're going to book Liv Morgan to win, this gives her a better opportunity to win, because I think for most people, for her to win one-on-one with Rhea Ripley, it may not be believable to some people, but for her to win in a fatal four-way and there's multiple people there who can get pinned, I mean, this makes all the sense in the world. There's no disqualification. So if she want to go full heel, she can do whatever she want to do. She can go crazy. But I will say this as well. With Liv Morgan, we need to give her a different finisher. The Oblivion is cool, but it isn't anything that people are going to be impressed by. In my personal opinion, I would love if they give her a submission move, right? If she's gonna go into being this heel, maybe she should have a submission move where she's destroying people. Like for me personally, I would love to see her do the Texas Cloverleaf. The reason why is because from her hometown is also a wrestler, a legend, Dean Malenko, and that was his finisher. And if she does that, and in a way, while doing the Texas Cloverleaf, where she attacks her legs over and over and do that and attacks it while they're in the Texas Cloverleaf, like hitting it with a weapon or something, that can be something that be a more aggressive that will fit her heel persona. The Oblivion just doesn't look like it hurts. It doesn't look like it damages anybody. It just looks like a basic move to me, in my personal opinion. But at the end of the day, again, Liv Morgan fans, this is an opportunity. He could win it all. It could happen. It looks like we're going in that direction. If it doesn't happen that way and we still stick to this one-on-one match, I guarantee you that either Liv or Nia Jax is going to interfere in that match at WrestleMania. That seems like that's going to be the case, because we're right around the corner. I don't see why they would have this story starting right now when WrestleMania is the next stop. It just wouldn't make sense to me. But anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. Salute, peace, have a good day.